What's up, RPG fans? Welcome to episode 33 of the Switch RPG podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Philip, and I'm joined by the voice of the people himself, Gio. How you doing?
What's going on, Phil? How you been?
I've been okay. Been all right. How have you been?
Wow,
I know
you went up a whole octave there. I couldn't even handle that.
I turn into Mickey Mouse sometimes. Good week for you?
Oh yeah. Got a lot of gaming done, a lot of movie watching too, for some odd reason, which never happens. But I got that done too.
Awesome. We'll dive into that here in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time listening, this is the official podcast from the website SwitchRPG.com that brings you all the exciting news, upcoming game releases, and the latest in the world of RPGs on the Nintendo Switch platform, as well as covering some of the other platforms. This week, we have what I would consider to be just a monumental episode. The news is out of this world. Of course, last week was the game the Game Awards.
I always want to say like the Video Game Awards.
We called it the Video Game Awards and the VGAs all last episode.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, but it is the Game Award, the TGAs. So anyway, of course, that happened last Thursday, and a ton of stuff to cover. We'll cover it all. Then we're going to dive into the sales and releases as always. And then finally cap it off with a little bit of a holiday side quest for you. Before we jump into the episode proper, let's cover a little bit of housekeeping.
Sure.
Fortunately, this isn't the happiest of news.
Nope.
Yeah, Gia knows what's coming. Unfortunately, I must announce that in less than a month's time, I'm going to have to be leaving the podcast due to some outside, some IRL stuff, some real life stuff. Things have occurred and come up so that it's just going to be impossible for me to devote the amount of time that I need to the show and to give you guys, you listeners, exactly what you deserve. And so I told Gio, we talked about it. We've got plans for the show moving forward, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so I'll be giving the old Patriots hat over to Gio himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, you will definitely and surely be missed. I've been dreading this announcement. I've known about it for a little bit, and I've been dreading this announcement, hoping that if we just didn't record this episode, it would never happen and just go away. But that's not what the case is. I will be on the lookout for other things. You know, we got some plans for this, so we'll have to see what happens. But yes, you will surely be missed. You were a tremendous asset to this show. And just know there's an open invitation for whenever the planets realign for you. I'll keep the seat warm for you. We've been doing this for how long? It feels like forever.
Since March, I believe.
Yeah, so we almost made it a year. We
did.
Yeah, it was been awesome having you here. And again, you were true professional. And
well,
yeah,
as always, I appreciate those kind words. And just so everybody knows, I'm terribly going to miss the show too. It's been one of my highlights of the week for however long we've been doing it now. We're at 33 episodes. From a creation standpoint, this is the longest running show I've ever done.
Yep.
It's the most, what I would consider successful show I've ever done, and it's taught me a lot. I've grown a lot. My beard's grown a lot. It's been great.
You're part of the He-Man facial hair club.
Yeah. And as things get closer to my last episode, we'll have some reminiscing and things like that. So
right.
Anyway,
and we both wore black to the episode. So I mean,
we did. Yeah.
I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. I don't know what you're wearing, but whatever.
Just a plain old black gross thing.
Oh, nice, beautiful, sexy.
Right in line with Bill Belichick. Anyway, all right. Let's get the show back on track. Let's jump right into the news, because this is literally one of my favorite news weeks we've ever had. So coming out of the Game Awards. First off, before we actually get into the announcements that came from the show, let's talk winners. Of course, it is the award show.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes I get caught up in all the announcements, especially last year, man. They were just boom, boom, boom announcements. This year it was boom, boom, boom announcements. But let's talk awards. We put in some predictions last week. We had our buddy Corey on from RPG Reruns.
Yep.
And we have some announcements here. So, Gio, do you have the award winners in front of you? If you don't, I do.
I don't.
Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go through and we'll cover these in order the way that we predicted them.
Okay.
So first up, last week we predicted best score and soundtrack, and RPG Reruns said God of War. So did I. And Gio said Octopath Traveler. So how wrong we were.
We were, yeah, we totally missed the mark on this one. Because it ended up being, Red Dead Redemption 2.
We don't give partial credit here, but I do believe I remember Gio saying something about Red Dead whenever he was talking about the music.
But
I don't know. I don't remember. And to be completely honest, I've never played Red Dead. I don't know what the music. I felt a little slighted by this. I felt that Bear McCready deserved better because God of War was an amazing soundtrack. So anyway, next up we had best independent game. RPG Reruns, and I both said Celeste, and Gio went Dead Cells.
I did, and I was wrong again. And I hate to admit it, but you guys, Corey and you, were right. Well deserved. I mean, I don't think there was a wrong answer in this category, but Celeste did outcome as the winner. So
it had to go to somebody. So so Celeste did take away the gold there with the best independent game. Then we covered best ongoing game. RPG Reruns gave it to No Man's Sky, and Gio and I went with Fortnite.
I think he wanted to go Fortnite, and he just kind of went with his heart there. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, Fortnite is really, you and I discussed it ad nauseum. It's just taking over the world, it's on everything, plays on everything well, all that good stuff.
Like I said last week, no, I don't think it necessarily deserves Game of the Year, but it deserves something, because whether you love it or hate it, it impacted the industry. And I think you're totally right. Corey definitely went with his heart.
Yeah.
But my response to that is we play to win the game.
Right.
Go with what's going to win. All right. I feel like No Man's Sky should have gotten something too. But anyway, best action adventure game. Corey went with God of War. I went with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Don't know why.
Kind of in a long shot there. And then Gio went Red Dead Redemption 2. So Corey got a point there for God of War.
Yeah, he did.
Winning best action adventure.
And my reasoning for this to be for Red Dead Redemption and was, I don't want to give it away, but I was totally wrong about it. So, yeah.
Yes, indeed. So then we had best strategy game. We all three agreed on Valkyria Chronicles 4 for best strategy game, and we were all swing and a miss because it was Into the Breach.
And I'm actually quite surprised, to be honest, because Into the Breach is such a, you can play that game in such short spurts. Like, really, like, you can have, I don't know, one session where you deplete the enemy. And there really isn't any story. So you just kind of, you go one round at a time. There's really no narrative at all. So to kind of just explain the game, basically you each take a turn, and the enemy turn is forecasted. So it basically tells you what the enemy is doing, and you kind of have to figure out how to save buildings and save certain things. it's got cool mechanics, but to be the best strategy game, I was really surprised.
Yeah, good for it for bringing it home. Next up, we had best role-playing game. Corey went with Dragon Quest XI, strong contender. Gio went with Octopath Traveler, strong contender. Philip went with something that I would say maybe other people on the podcast thought he was foolish for going for, with Monster Hunter World. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all give a round of applause for Monster Hunter World for bringing home best RPG of the year.
You just want to pat yourself on the back for that one. I guess I underestimated how impactful it was in the beginning of the year, because it was released a while ago, and I was never into it, so I don't know. I have it. We'll never play it probably, but
of course, if asked, I am going to say that it was just really well educated, well researched, prediction. It wasn't just a random, guess or hope. But I mean, I will say I'm probably as surprised as anyone else. I did bank on the fact that it was very popular. It did take the world, quite literally the world by storm, in whatever it was, January or February. And even Corey echoed this, how like you were able to sort of play it before the rush of late spring, early summer titles.
Right.
So I did have that going for me, and that's kind of one reason that I chose it. But I am a little surprised that it edged out like Dragon Quest XI. I just feel like the name, the history, the clout with that it's just that was the easy answer. So I'm actually impressed that whoever does the voting and whatnot, they didn't go with the easy answer,
right?
And they went with the best answer, which was my answer. All right, and then finally, game of the year. No surprises here. All three of us chose God of War, and it took the gold. So
it did take the gold. And again, I chose Red Dead for best action adventure, thinking God of War was going to win the best of the year, and God of War won best action adventure as well as game of the year. So, yeah, kudos to them. Kudos to them.
I think that
a game I'll never be able to play too.
Yeah, I think that you and I kind of had the same, maybe. I don't know. We kind of fell in the same trap, thinking that, okay, they would kind of split the awards.
Right.
Oh, if this one's going to win this one, then this one should win this category over here. Because there was a lot of overlap. But they just said, you know what? God of War was just a fantastic game. Turns out it was the best game of 2018.
Right.
I don't have a problem with it. I think that it was phenomenal. I wish that you were able to play it because, I mean, for all intents and purposes, look at my co-host here. He is Kratos. Look at this. No hair. The impressive beard. I mean, you need to be able to play it, man. You got to play it.
I just you go around yelling at my son, boy.
Absolutely.
And the voiceover artist who does Kratos, he was up on the stage. I don't know if you saw it, and he had like the loudest suit like you could ever wear. It was awesome.
I was at a nephew's birthday party, 2-year-old birthday party, and so I've only seen clips and highlights, and I didn't get to watch it like I was hoping to.
Yeah, I was able to watch the end. I had the tabletop game night. I was kind of checking in and out. Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, shut up. All right, shut your mouth.
I play D&D on Sundays. So.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, why didn't I know that?
I think.
Why didn't I know that?
I took the group that I was playing with had to take a break, and it may have been a break for the literal length of the podcast, because we played a lot last year, and then my buddy moved, and so we couldn't play anymore. So that may be the reason that you don't know. Anyway.
But anyways, I was actually on our Discord channel, and Rich was just filling in the updates like as they were happening. I'm like, this is perfect. I don't even have to watch anything. Just have Rich on the Discord, and good to go. Good to go. He was on top.
Yeah, he was literally like watching Twitter streams of like an Apple conference or something, where they're like giving you the minute by minute, just like second by second. Now so and so's on the stage, so it was great. All right, yeah, cool. So congratulations to God of War,
Yep.
and all of the winners across the board. Obviously, there are more categories. This is just the ones that we predicted. So go look at a list, see who won, and try out those games. Good stuff. It's a good time of year. This is just like my happy time of year. You know, you got Christmas in the air. You got good feelings. People winning awards. It's great.
Good times.
All right, enough of these. So let's talk about things that were announced, because that, I would say, is the cool part of Game Awards. And I think this was really something that kind of got established last year. And I know I read some articles this year talking about how after last year, this year felt like it kind of got its stride, the good balance between honoring, you know, past games and announcing new ones. So that's kind of what I love about this event, is the fact that we get to celebrate the year of games and then also get hyped for new stuff. So let's talk about some of the announcements. And also some rumors. Going ahead, getting that out there.
Sure.
Rumors. All right, professional video game journalist Gio.
I don't like to do it, but I mean,
sometimes you have to.
It's what we got.
All right. We're gonna start in the Super Smash Brothers corner.
Okay.
Because I would say a huge announcement. I would call this a huge announcement. This was surprising to me, at least. Was that in not later this year, but later down Super Smash Brothers DLC life. Among the first, in fact, we have Joker, not from Batman, not from Arkham, but Joker from Persona 5 will be a playable fighter in Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. This is big. This is big. This is cool. This is a crossover that we haven't seen before.
This was not rumored at all. I didn't see this anywhere. I didn't hear about it anywhere. And of course, once you see this, you see the Joker from Persona 5 in a Nintendo game. Now you're linking them into, okay, Persona 5 is coming to the Nintendo Switch. And how awesome would that be if Persona 5 was on the Switch? I would lose my ever-loving mind. I wanted so badly to play that game. It's on the PlayStation 4. I can't do it. So bring it to the Nintendo. Do whatever you got to do, whatever magic to make it fit. I don't care. I want to play the game. And, you know, just the sheer amount of hype for this first DLC fighter for Smash Brothers, to just create this massive hype, it is unprecedented. It's unbelievable. I love it.
And just for the listeners out there, because I did mention rumors, and Gio went into rumor town there, but just so everyone knows, the distinction here is Joker is confirmed. He is a fighter for Smash. The rumor here is, then of course we are making the connections, just like Gio said. The rumors are out there. And for listeners' sake, my rundown of some of these awards, like I'm reading from Polygon, article for Polygon talking about Joker in Smash. But now let's head over to Nintendo Soup, who has the actual sort of roundup of rumors surrounding Persona 5. And I'm just going to read a little bit here because this is too good. I mean, this is so juicy. But rumor warning, okay? This is all up in the air. Nothing has been confirmed other than Joker will be a character in Smash. All right. So I'm just going to read from Nintendo Soup here. Following the reveal of Joker for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a new rumor about Persona 5 has surfaced. Mystic Distance, a translator and secondary writer for Persona Central, KH Insider, and many other websites, claims they have been told Persona 5 is heading to Nintendo Switch in 2019. Mystic Dance says multiple sources have provided them cover your children's ears, rather damning evidence that the game is coming to Nintendo Switch in 2019. They also state they have took great caution in sharing this rumor with the public. We've also learned that Persona 5 will be announced the day Joker becomes playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The updated version will have a new title and contain adjustments to the game, additional aspects to the scenario, amongst other wanted additions. A Switch port has been seriously considered since mid-2017, claims Mystic Distance. Mystic Distance added that they are aware of Persona 5's new title on Switch and its launch window, but couldn't share that information at this point. Now, the article also says that given that Mystic Distance is a longtime veteran in the industry, their words shouldn't be taken too lightly. But please remember, nothing has been confirmed by Atlas. So this is rumor, but it is possibly one of the most exciting rumors that we've had in 2018. And I would say since we did this podcast, because since the very beginning of this podcast, which you have to remember started back in around March, late March, and that Persona 5, that's when I watched my friend play Persona 5. I think it was like in February.
Mm-hmm.
So I was chomping at the bit since episode 1 for Persona to come over to Switch. And now this is not only a possibility, but it's looking very probable.
Right.
I am so excited, and I agree with you. This is so big.
Now, you had to know, or Nintendo had to know that doing this would open up the floodgates with rumors, with all that stuff, and just people, again, connecting those synapses, those dots there, and just putting it all together and then kind of not really port begging. Yeah, but yeah, port begging. I mean, we've been asking for this for a while. So, yeah, we've been doing all that.
And I mean, obviously, a showing up in Smash does not equate 100% to a port of a game. Because I mean, Bayonetta did come over. It was some time. It was some time after, it came, but it did come over.
Over as an exclusive.
Yes. Now Metal Gear Solid didn't exactly come over. I mean, Snake's there, but I guess that originally was a Nintendo title though, way back in the day, right? Like some of the original Metal Gear. So he technically was a Nintendo character. So we got Bayonetta, but we also have had some other. Have we had other third-party crossovers like this that wasn't Nintendo?
Third party.
And then they come over?
Hang on.
I mean, we had Cloud.
Yep.
But now that's coming over.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Castlevania. I'm trying to look up my amiibo. Yep, Castlevania is another one that's a Konami product. Dark Souls.
But that's on Switch as well
now. Which it wouldn't surprise me if you see the Solaire fighter as a DLC fighter at some point. Yeah, I can't really think of.
Bayonetta is really the one that I feel. Was that on Wii?
It was on
Wii.
Okay.
It was on the Wii U. Okay. So to me, this is
totally
guys out there. Yeah, out there. Let me know a character that's appeared in Smash that didn't have Nintendo origins
at all before.
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty unprecedented, and I feel like it's almost a given at this point that we're going to get the port, and I'm super excited about it. And to your point, however you can make it happen, I think Persona 5 is uniquely created in a way that it's not too hard. And once again, I have no experience in programming things like that, but its style doesn't seem very graphically intensive. Right. It has a very sort of cartoon,
anime,
cell shaded anime style. Yep. Yeah, works really well on Switch.
And there's actually a game.
So excited.
A game coming out. I want to say in March. I think it's in March, called the Kalia Effect, which is it's almost the same exact premise where it's it's based in a school, and it's got the same type of art style. It's NIS America, or am I saying that right?
NIS America.
I always feel like I
don't know. I always say NIS, but I don't know.
All right. Well, they're the developers behind it, or publishers behind it, and so it's already got. I feel like Persona 5 can definitely be made to fit and run on a Switch. No doubt about it. No doubt.
Yeah.
It's just when. I mean,
it's like we open with that, But also Smash Brothers Ultimate opens with that. Like that's your first DLC fighter, or
Right.
like one of your first DLC part. That's the first ones that we like really know about.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait
Yep.
to hear about more.
Yeah. Now, were you able to get Ultimate Smash Brothers?
Don't spoil another segment later on.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
my apologies.
it. All right. Moving on from Persona 5. I don't know if I can be as excited about this, but this is another thing I am so psyched for. That is also coming. I'm talking from Polygon. The return of Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And not only is it returning, but it is returning on Switch. Not only is it returning on Switch, but it is returning exclusive on Switch.
Awesome.
This is crazy. This was one of the most out of left field things that happened. And for this to be, look, I know that Ultimate Alliance may not be everybody's cup of tea. This may not, this is not Persona 5 level.
No.
But for us to go into the Game Awards last week and someone asked me the question, what's the craziest thing that you could think of? Persona 5 coming to Switch and Ultimate Alliance returning and being exclusive on Switch. Two of the things never would have even crossed my mind as a possibility. And now one of them could be happening. One of them is definitely happening. But this is really cool. I have quite the history, the background with this series, because as a PlayStation 2 game, this was 4-player co-op, and I had 4 siblings. Or I mean, I had 3 siblings who could play, who were old enough to play games, and this was our 4-player co-op game.
Right.
I was Wolverine. My sister broke the game with Silver Surfer, and then we had someone who was like Spider-Man. The original Ultimate Alliance had a lot of like cool things. It was you could create your own teams that had different like cross class combos,
right?
And it was a little dungeon crawler, 4-player dungeon crawler, and so that I have so many memories of that game. And then getting Ultimate Alliance 2 on the PS3, playing that with my youngest brother, who at that point was old enough to play games. So this is kind of cool for this to come back this way. I think it really fits on the Switch. It is a superhero game, which the Switch doesn't really have.
Superhero?
I don't think that you have to have one, but no. I mean, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Number one, it's exclusive, which I absolutely love. Again, as a Nintendo person, it's awesome that they have an exclusive, and I hope that they continue to get more. And then to have something like this, it's almost I envision this being played like Diablo is being played, where it's just kind of drop in, drop out. You can have 4-player local co-op, and I hope that's the case anyways, and I hope it's played the same way, easy in, easy out, like absolutely no problems. I feel like it can be done. This is again out of left field. No one was talking about this, no one was expecting this at all, and it's just perfect. This will probably be a day one buy for me.
This is also cool because I think the exclusivity is one of the coolest things to me. Just like you're saying, the fact that we have a Marvel property working with Nintendo, that is great. You have such a big name putting their trust in the Nintendo brand. I think that really, in an odd way, it gives us a great barometer of how healthy the Switch is, how healthy Nintendo is right now.
Right. For
Marvel to say, oh, arguably one of the strongest, most successful juggernaut of a company right now, to say, all right, we're aligning with Nintendo instead of PlayStation. I mean, they just had the smashing success with Spider-Man on PlayStation. That was also exclusive.
Yeah, but that's
I understand that was Sony.
Yeah,
that was Sony. That was my bad. This is more Marvel. So anyway, regardless of that, Marvel.
It's really name. It's so hard to keep track of who owns who now.
Yeah. But the other cool aspect of this is the developer, and that is Team Ninja is the one who's developing this. If that name is familiar to you, you know that they make some good games. If you're not very familiar with them, they are known for the Dead or Alive series, the Ninja Gaiden. They made Ninja Gaiden, the Ninja Gaiden series, and also Neo from a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Really popular, great game. This is the people who are making Ultimate 3.
It's a very different game than Neo for sure.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Now, interestingly enough, though, Neo did have drop in, drop out, easy co-op combat.
Well, again, I don't know how it's going to translate. I hope it translates really well. To this Ultimate Alliance. Yeah, I can't wait for this one.
Now, there is one huge question that I have for you, Gio.
Yeah.
And that is, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, is it an RPG?
This is an RPG.
I think we just need to end the episode right there. And he is correct, though. It is an RPG. It is. There are stats. There are level ups. It is dungeon crawling. If you consider Diablo an RPG, this is definitely an RPG.
Okay, yeah. See, I mean, here we're gonna go back to this again. To consider a game an RPG, your character needs to grow, not in terms of narrative. Okay, your character needs to grow in terms of stats. Stats are important in an RPG. Okay, stats in an RPG, you need to play with numbers somehow, some way. Okay. And that goes back to tabletop. You're playing with numbers. It's basic on a sheet. You're adding, you're subtracting, you're doing all this stuff. It's all based number wise. So again, your character needs to show some growth. And in this game, your character shows that growth. Thank you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's just the basic framework for an RPG, really. And Breath of the Wild, Link does not show that at all. He can carry stronger weapons. That's not it. He doesn't get any more powerful. He doesn't. His stats don't change.
He gets more health points.
Okay, no.
And more stamina points,
nope.
Meaning he can climb higher, fly longer, run faster, or run without tiring.
RPG elements.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Not an RPG.
You know what is an RPG though? That is what my friends, all first name basis over at BioWare.
Okay, all right. What are they doing over there?
Okay, well, first of all, nobody really knows. But anyway, second of all, if you guys listened or watched last week's episode, you know that Corey and I had a moment with our beloved Dragon Age. Gio actually just left the set. He went and got himself a sweet tea and came back. We're still talking about it. No, there was not necessarily a Netflix Dragon Age TV show, and I won't hold that against anyone.
No.
But what we were hoping for, a tease of Dragon Age 4, I did not expect to see gameplay. I literally just expected the Bethesda Elder Scrolls 6 treatment. Tell us that you're working on it.
Yep.
Because there have been so many mixed reports in recent months of, we don't know, just if it's the A team, we don't know if their focus is on it, we don't know what kind of game it's going to be. Are we completely changing the status quo? We did get some answers here, and that is yes, they are committed. There's been some tweets by Casey Hudson leading up to it saying yes, we're committed. But then also, for those of you who haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition, I am sorry to say that this is a huge spoiler. That's just the nature of the Dragon Age games. Everything's sort of connected. So this is a big spoiler for Dragon Age Inquisition, but it is what it is. It's carrying on the way that Dragon Age Inquisition and its DLC left off. So Dragon Age 4 is going to be carrying on the narrative that we that the loose ends did not quite, tie together in Inquisition. So
yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully you don't really need to lean on what you missed out in Inquisition. I mean, generally they're smart people; they're not going to do that. But you don't want to leave those people in the dark either.
What the series has been very good at, because, and that's, I think, and I haven't played Mass Effect, but tell me if I'm wrong, but Mass Effect is such a singular story.
Yep.
That trilogy, right? It is a singular story that builds off of one another. Dragon Age has never been that from the beginning. Origins, completely different story from 2. Two's completely different setting, different main character. And how they carry things over from Origins is the decisions that you make in the world. Certain people are still alive, certain people are dead. Those things carry over, so it feels like that world, but the story and narrative is completely different. Same thing with the Inquisition. It carries the decisions and the world that you built from 2. And some things would make more sense if you played 2, but you don't have to play 2. So I completely believe that that's the way that 4 is going to be. This villain, if you don't know who it is, I'm not going to come out and say who it is, but this villain is somebody that we see in Inquisition. And I'm sure that if you play Inquisition, it would mean so much more that you're going to be fighting him in this one, if he is in fact the big bad. But anyway, I think that it will be separate enough that that you won't have to play Inquisition.
Right.
So
yeah. Now going back to Mass Effect, I don't know. See, I played them all, so having played them all, I don't know how you could go in the middle of the series or the end of the series and play that game. Like, the story is just kind of, I feel like it's really intertwined. It'd be really hard to not understand a lot of the backstory because it doesn't fill you in a lot. So yeah, it'd be really tough.
I mean, it is. Mass Effect suffers from the same thing that I was talking about Banner Saga with last week. The reason why I was having trouble giving awards to Banner Saga 3 is because I feel like it's a game that's so dependent on the ones that came before it. And I feel like that's the way Mass Effect was, whereas Dragon Age games, and I like this. There's something to be said about this big epic story, but I do like the fact that each entry in the Dragon Age franchise is standalone, so that you can get new fans each time, and they don't feel like they have to play 300 hours of story to catch up and feel like they're caught up. And I think that if they, I hope, with everything I've got in me, I hope that they carry on the Dragon Age Keep, which is the online database for all of your story selections. It was a little wonky to begin with, because you're having to input all of your decisions for Origins and for 2 because those systems weren't tied to the website. But if they keep it, the way that they have it with Inquisition onward should be great, because as soon as you make a decision in Inquisition, you can tell it to sync it to the Keep, and everything you do is tied to the world state and the Keep. And the thing that the Keep allows is it allows you to have whatever world state and whatever decisions that you make on whatever platform you want. You sync it with PS4 if you have a PS4 copy. If you PS4 breaks, you buy a PC copy, you download that world state, you don't lose all those decisions that you had in past games. I think that is so valuable. It's something that I wish Banner Saga had, because sometimes I will want to play it on PC, but like my Switch versions are my versions, right? I don't have to go back and replay them necessarily to play 3. So
exactly,
yeah, keep it up. Speaking of big RPGs people love, spend a lot of time in, we did talk about Obsidian's teased RPG last week, and it was officially announced. We can confirm Obsidian's new RPG is called The Outer Worlds. And if you were hoping for something that felt like Fallout, because that was something that you pointed out, Gio, is all of those promotional images gave a lot of Fallout vibes. So guys, if you were hoping for something Fallout, you might have hit the jackpot here.
Oh yeah.
And it's Fallout mixed with space. And I think that is the coolest thing because I love space. But then you also get sort of that like retro futuristic vibe.
It's gonna be perfect for me. I can already tell that I'm gonna absolutely love it, because if it's anything like Fallout, it's gonna be like real Fallout. I'm not talking Fallout 76, well, or 4 for that matter, but either New Vegas or 4, which is kind of where these guys are in it.
3, by the way. Yeah, 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
New Vegas
yes.
and 3.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what I meant. If it's anything like Fallout 3 or New Vegas, it's gonna be a home run for sure.
And I mean, it's kind of divisive, but a lot of people hold New Vegas as the best Fallout game.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know several people who consider New Vegas the better Fallout game or the best one. They're wrong. That's okay to be wrong. Fallout 3 is better. But I mean, Fallout New Vegas added a lot of different things. It probably had a better story. But again, I like the environment in 3 better. I liked seeing the state of DC the way it was and the way it was reimagined. I loved all of that. Like I said, the narrative in Fallout 3 was a little thin, but it's still my favorite. But again, these guys were behind Fallout New Vegas. I can see that influence. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be perfect. The guns look like alien blasters and Nerf guns. It's gonna be awesome. It really is. I can't wait to see more. I really can't.
Yeah, this I would say the aesthetic and the feel of this game clicked most with me out of anything that was shown at Game Awards, and like I was excited about this before because I trust Obsidian, and if it was anything Fallout-y, I was gonna be excited. But this has me so pumped. So,
and this was one of the things I was waiting for. I was waiting to hear what they were gonna have to say, and they just nailed it. So good on them.
All right, more stuff coming to Switch that was announced, and we have. Speaking of Monster Hunter, we have a Monster Hunter style. Is that going to be the new Dark Souls? A Monster Hunter style online RPG is called Dauntless. That will be coming to Switch with cross-platform play. This is coming from Nintendo Life.
Now, how cross-platform are we talking? I don't know if that's stated in there. Like, I know it's coming out on
this
PS4
article.
and Xbox.
This is what it says. Now, originally intended so this game was originally intended to be exclusive to computers, but the Phoenix Labs has confirmed that it will also be coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and smart devices. Now it says that Sony and Microsoft fans will get their hands on the game in April. Switch players will have to wait a little bit longer, of course, is the case.
We're used to that.
Now, this last line here is what's interesting to me. As part of Phoenix Labs' One Dauntless initiative, cross-platform play will be enabled. So One Dauntless makes it seem like
everybody.
It's one shared world.
Yep.
Because that is, I don't know.
That seems like a big task. I'm all for it.
I'm also curious when you say Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is not an MMO in that it is not a shared world. It is not a shared space. You can link up with friends and run cooperative missions together, or you can go out into its areas together, but you don't log into the game like a Final Fantasy 14 or a World of Warcraft. And as soon as you log in and you go into a server, you see 12 to 50 to 100 people around you.
Right.
So I am curious. This says it's an online action RPG.
Yep.
Which sounds more Monster Hunter than MMO, but I am curious. Also, it is free to play.
It is
free to play, which at first, at first instinct is obviously to wince a little bit and sort of shy away from that. But there have been some free to play titles that have done free to play a little bit better than others, and on the Switch specifically, there are some that do it better. The in-game transactions are cosmetic only, or they offer, whether it's like bonus character slots or something like that. It's nothing game breaking. It's nothing that creates a pay to win situation. And this article stresses that even though it's free to play, it is not pay to win. Right. It says purchases made in game are cosmetic or only have short term effects. So this is interesting. I
mean, like you had said, there are already free to play RPGs actually on the Switch. You got Warframe, which looks phenomenal on the Switch. I don't know about its microtransactions. I haven't really even dove into anything that far into it anyways, but that is done really well and fairly popular from what I know. But just going back to the article, loot gained during each quest can be used to craft new gear, upgrade your existing loadout, and hunts, which can be played either solo or with up to 4 people. So that doesn't sound like MMO at all. It just sounds like a squad or something for that matter. It can take a considerable amount of time to complete, and yes, you're right, it does sound an awful lot like Monster Hunter. So it's almost like it's a lot like Monster Hunter. It would be cool if it was something sort of like a raid, like in World of Warcraft, where you have these behemoths or whatever, and you have to travel through and get to this giant boss. Again, that's my. I'm going to write a letter to them, and in my letter, I'm going to bring that idea up.
Now, despite I understand this game I'm about to say has a lot of flaws too, but Destiny, something about Destiny that I liked more than I did Monster Hunter World is the fact that the hub worlds the hub sort of stations, you could see people running around. I feel like that adds a lot to the game. It makes it feel like I am connected in some way to all the other players playing. Whereas in Monster Hunter World, everything was my instance. And then when I got back to, or whenever I went out into the sort of like into the wild, I could link up with a friend. I like that feeling of once we're in a party, and whether we're in the wild or we're in the hub, we're together, and when we're in the hub, we can see 50 people running around.
I mean, when you're in the hub, that's more or less just like an online lobby basically. With Destiny, there really wasn't much to do in there.
But I mean, just seeing the people was good. Obviously, I mean, obviously in an MMO, there's more social aspect where you could actually talk to people and stuff like that. But I'm not asking for much, Gio. You can't see some other people.
Right. No, I mean, ultimately, you can't talk to people on the Switch.
You can dance together, okay?
Big deal. You can't really do anything on there. Like there's no. That's right. You can have emotes, and that's about it.
Yeah, you can't even like hook a keyboard up. Nothing. You can't fire up you can't have the native headset,
a simple little like headset doodad on your whatever.
I will be curious to see if this game comes with voice chat enabled, like built in, as some games have done.
Can I ask, other than Splatoon, is there another game that uses the Nintendo Online app? No. Okay.
I don't use the Nintendo Online app. I don't even. Looks like I've never downloaded it
because you don't have Splatoon. I mean, like they should just call it the Splatoon app. Honestly,
the Splatoon Companion app.
That's it.
The SAP. No, the SCP.
Nice try. A for effort.
Yeah. All right. Coming to us for the second week in a row. Let's pause for a second. I think I'm jumping ahead a little bit because I want to save my rant for the end. Little tease there. But anyway, let's give a little hand for WCCF Tech. All right. Well, they went 9 months without us ever referring to them at all, and now they've got back-to-back weeks. Okay. WCCF Tech
Again,
has.
if you're unfamiliar with that website, that's because most of the world is as well.
We don't know. We don't know what kind of numbers they get. They may get a lot of hits. They may drive some traffic over there. Everybody, go to WCCFtech.com. Go over there. Give them some hits. Give them some love.
Phil, is this your website?
That was WCCFtech.com. All right. So they've got an article that talks about how apparently an unannounced RuneScape action RPG is in the works currently.
Are we going back in time right now?
Back in time, way back to 2001, when RuneScape, for all of you Fortnite players out there who have never heard of this game, this is one of the most popular online games, most popular MMOs ever. In fact, I think this article points it out. It's got the Guinness Book of World Records, recognized as the largest and most updated free-to-play game in MMO history. So it has a long-standing history, 17 years. That's a long time. And it appears as if they're going to sort of take that that lore and that world, and they're going to make an action RPG out of it. So I don't know. That's like a little bit of a nostalgia for all of us who have played RuneScape at one time or another, or got addicted to it.
I played this game for the first time, I don't know, 2 years ago. I don't know. This just was never This never interested me. Now, again, I played it 2 years ago, and I thought it was a disaster. It was awful. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, just the chat itself, I felt like it was like its own language. I couldn't understand it. You had like a bunch of numbers and characters. I'm like, what in the world is happening here? I was so lost in that game, and again, it didn't age well. But yeah, I mean, they were very successful, for sure, without a doubt. Very successful. Now, did that game have microtransactions?
Oh, I'm sure it's free to play. Yeah. I mean, and it's an MMO, so like that's the double whammy there.
Yeah.
Free to play MMO. That's how they make their money. So
now you sound like you've played it quite a bit.
Actually, not too much.
No?
Not too much.
Okay.
That was not one of my actions, but I mean, I do know some people who like it was unhealthy.
Yeah, my first experience in MMOs was Guild Wars, so I mean, I never got into the RuneScape thing. So
I mean, 2001 was a little early for my online life.
Okay.
Which didn't really happen. I didn't have high-speed internet until 2007, I think. Okay. So yeah, so then that's whenever it was like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars.
Yep.
And then I did play some freebies, a lot of freebies actually. But never RuneScape. Too much.
Okay, so this is kind of way off. We're going way off topic here. So you played Guild Wars, World of Warcraft. What were some of the other free to plays that you've played?
Archlord.
Okay.
FlyFF.
FlyFF, never heard of that one.
Something about pirates. It was like World of Pirates or something like that.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
I played one called the Secret World.
Okay, never played that.
It's I think it's Funcom. Really cool. It had a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of fables, and kind of it had like this haunting aspect to it, like is kind of like the horror. It was like a horror MMO. It felt like, but it was really cool. And it's still around actually. But yeah. So I never really got too much involved in MMOs for that addictive quality. It can grab you for sure.
One that will live in infamy for me was one called Runes of Magic, which had a 1-to-1 look to World of Warcraft. I mean, it looked. You talk about a Warcraft clone. I mean, this looked like World of Warcraft, and I wanted to play it very, very, very badly because it looked like a very solid free MMO. I lived about 40 minutes outside of the town that I live in now, and so if you guys have documented my internet problems now, place yourselves in Philip's 2009, like 2008, 2009 world, living 40 minutes outside of the town that I live in the middle of nowhere, where we had quote unquote high speed internet. But I don't even want to think about what my download speed was.
Oh boy.
Runes of Magic was 6 gigabytes large. It was 6 gigabytes. That is nothing today. That is like an indie game today. It was 6 gigabytes large. I downloaded that thing on my Dell laptop for 6 days straight. Night and day. I kept it plugged into my charger. It was about as hot as an oven, and I just had it like sitting on my bed or like on my nightstand, like cracked open so that it wouldn't, like, I turned my screensaver off and everything, made it where it couldn't go to sleep, so it would just download for however many hundreds of hours that is. It just downloaded, and I think I played the game all of 35 minutes.
It was good, huh? Or your laptop just decided, I quit. I can't do this. It was no good.
It was no good.
Oh, that's too bad.
Let's go over to Polygon for an interesting game here called Ashen, which was actually released the other night. It's available now on Xbox. It's an action RPG inspired by
Oh boy, don't say it.
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, okay.
And Journey.
What?
That is a very strange combo, but you can actually get this. It's an Xbox One exclusive. You can actually get this right now.
Yeah.
It is live on the Xbox Marketplace as well as the Epic Games Store. And then it's included in Xbox One Game Pass.
Yep.
It will come to Steam at some point. It's a game that was teased a few years ago, and now it's finally out. So there's another Xbox, or there's another RPG. If you're on Xbox, we complain about there not being any RPGs, and now look at them.
Wow, they're like crashing onto the Xbox. There's so many of them. Thank you. That's it. This is all you got. We have nothing else in the Xbox world.
Until Obsidian.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to jump to the tweet that you linked, because we have major Final Fantasy franchise news.
I don't know how this went so like under.
I missed this, by the way.
This went under the radar.
It completely flew under all of our radars, and Geo really sort of broke this wide open for us.
Mm-hmm.
This was a tweet by Wario64 back on December 9th. Huge Final Fantasy news nobody's covering. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is getting a song and an appearance by none other than legendary singer-songwriter, performer, Ole Miss fan, Katy Perry.
Wait, say you were like you said Katy Perry. You probably
Katy Perry.
Yeah, I think I'm getting somebody else. You're saying Katy Perry, like Katy Perry, the singer
songwriter, like Katy Perry. Yes,
yeah, you're definitely saying Katy Perry. Okay.
Will be a character and will perform an original song for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. If I'm not saying that name correctly, Exvius, I really don't care. I'm sorry. If this is your Final Fantasy, if you love Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, great. If you love Katy Perry, great. But anyway, there you go. A little bit of love for the mobile title that is Final Fantasy, which seems like that's all we care about now is mobile games, right? Everybody's going mobile and everybody's complaining about mobile. Well, last piece of news for the day. Want to share this with you guys. Want to lay down some information here, okay? If you're one of those people that gripe about the state of RPGs and you think that everything's being watered down because of mobile and you think that people are going mobile and everything is free to play, so it's microtransactions, and why are we watering down the industry, is why is everything going mobile? Well, here is why.
It's very simple.
Very simple. Sensor Tower has a very disturbing article. This is very disturbing to me. Here is why mobile will not go away. If we think that maybe we're in this weird area and we'll finally grow, we'll grow out of this idea of microtransactions, we'll grow out of this idea of free to play and simple RPGs, and we'll eventually get to these mature RPGs on mobile, and they won't be full of microtransactions. No, it's not going to happen. Here's why. SensorTower.com. Nintendo's Dragalia Lost has grossed $50 million since launching in September. $50 million.
That's a big number.
That's a big number for a mobile title. 60% of that was on iOS. A mobile RPG that couldn't have cost that much to make.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you, go download Dragalia Lost right now. If you've not done it, just look at the aesthetic. Just look at how it's made.
Do you have it downloaded? Have you tried it at all?
I went, as soon as I saw this, I went straight to it on the App Store.
Okay.
And I watched videos of gameplay.
Okay.
It can't have been that expensive to make.
No.
Am I wrong?
No. No, not at all.
$50 million.
Now, here's the thing, right? Now, again, I like this article because it breaks down average how much is spent per download. Okay. Now, just kind of backtracking, Fire Emblem Heroes averages about $9 an install.
And real quick, the game has been out 70 days. It's made $50 million. Fire Emblem Heroes, through its first 70 days, made almost $76 million. But yeah, go ahead, Gio.
Okay.
$9 per install for Fire Emblem Heroes.
$9 per install. So, Fire Emblem Heroes, it's a cool game. I would actually pay $10 for it. I wouldn't mind paying $10. If you would average it out, $10, sure. Now, Dragalia Lost, in their numbers here, averages about $22 an install or a download, which is nuts. That is crazy. That's a crazy number for me. Now, I've played the game. I got through it until I kind of hit like the real paywall. I don't know if I'd pay $22 for it on a phone. Maybe I just can't get past that aspect. Okay, I'm going to pay $20 to play this on my phone. I would pay $20 to play that on my Switch. I mean, I don't know why I can't make the connection. Like, why not pay $20 for the phone? That's always with me, just like a Switch could kind of always be with me. What's the difference? Now, I don't know. Maybe it's just the stigma of it's a mobile game. I just can't get that out of my head. But I would certainly pay $20 for it on the Switch.
So you think
I'm talking like
because you
no microtransactions. It's a full game, $20.
How long do you think it would take you to play it though?
I
I know
mean,
Link does
they're constantly
equal
updating
quality
this
and
game.
everything.
There's I don't know. Again, I'm not sure how much of it. There's constant updates. There's additions, updates, downloads. There's constantly change. There's constant changes involved in here. So they're definitely supporting their product with DLC, with, like I said, the updates. So I'm sorry. What was your question?
I was just wondering, like, I don't know. I got the impression that this was maybe like a $9.99 title, like a $10 title.
For
You're
Dragalia
saying
Lost?
you're saying if it's on console, you think it launches at like at $19.99
Yeah,
or
because I feel
$29.99?
there's a lot of stuff
Okay.
in
Okay.
this. I feel like the story, I feel like it goes on a lot further than what the paywall was. So I think there's a lot more involved in it. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Well, okay. So now the thing is, this is the average per person.
right.
You have to assume that a large number of those people who downloaded that paid nothing.
I paid nothing.
So that means exactly. So that means that there are a large number of people out there who paid way more than $22 to get this down to an average of $22 per person.
Right.
So that's what's that is what I can't get past, is because this is the average per download. So there has to be people out there who paid way more than $20.
Right.
And I just wonder how much did they complete everything there is to complete, or is there still more out there that they're going to have to pay for to continue to play this game?
Right. I know,
Because if that's the case, this is why we're always going to get this. This is why we're always going to get this, because people will pay this. The developers are getting this. I mean,
it's the bottom line. It sells. I would really like to see the demographics. Like, where is it selling? Where in the world?
Japan.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think the mobile gaming market is in Japan and not here in the U.S.
Japan accounts for 66% of the revenue so far.
That's a big number, you know. So yeah,
they are spending $35 on average.
On average, okay.
U.S. represents 18% of the revenue, and actually, Americans are spending only about $10 per install.
Yeah.
So most of that $20 is coming from Japan, and look, that's a cultural thing. I understand. Like, I know I'm bringing my sort of closed-minded, sort of American Western mindset to this, and being like, I don't like paying piecemeal for things because I feel like I'm being nickeled and dimed everywhere.
Well,
just let me
you
pay
are.
for it once.
You are being nickeled and dimed.
But over there, maybe that's not a huge deal. Mobile is huge over there, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is just a cultural difference. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around it. I just think that this is the reason that mobile is not going anywhere. If you are tired of these types of RPG experiences or these types of games on mobile and it being thrown in our faces, and microtransactions being thrown in our faces, if you're tired of that, I'm sorry to say, I just don't think it's going anywhere, because it stays around because people are spending astronomical amounts of money on it.
Yep.
$50 million in 70 days for an app that did not take that much money to make.
I mean, granted, yes, it's a new IP. I would love to see this, like maybe just kind of an off-brand story of this. I think the aesthetic looks cool. I just wish it was on a console type of deal.
And look, I know, like, yes, I am sounding ranty. I am very happy that this is a Nintendo title. You know, at risk of sounding hypocritical, I am glad for Nintendo. I'm glad that they're exploring a marketplace that is profitable, and I'm glad that they are succeeding at it. I was very nervous about how they were going to get into the mobile space and if they were going to commit. They put out, like you said, a brand new IP, and it's doing well. So, I mean, look, kudos to them.
And there will be more.
There will be more. I mean, it's only going to continue because the demand is there for it. You know, At the end of the day, business is simple. If the demand is there, people are going to supply it. So anyway.
Yep.
All right. Super long news segment. Thank you for being along for the ride. But it was a great news segment. I mean, that was great. That was a treat. But now let's talk about what we've been playing, Gio. Why don't you hit me with some of the stuff you've been going in?
Still playing Mutant Year Zero. Still playing Diablo 3. I did get into some Pokemon a little bit. Mostly because I have friends and family who wanting to trade me Pokemon so they can evolve their Pokemon. They're just using me essentially, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being used. Whatever. It's not even my Pokemon game. It's my son's, which you told me to open.
I did
early for Christmas. So Pokemon, Smash Brothers. It's a new game developed by Nintendo. Probably haven't heard of it.
Just trying that out, that concept out.
Yeah, it's a fighting type of game, arcade fighting. I'm not sure. It's something very new. Doing a little bit of that, and I've also got a couple of new games I'll be putting up on the YouTube. One's a roguelite with a T, and the other one's a roguelike with a K. They are a little.
Those both are things.
They're both things. You may not know about those
exist.
things, Phil, but they are both things. One called Mana Spark, and the other one is called Xenon Valkyrie Plus. They're both a little bit different in their own little way. But yes, I've been playing those two as well, which you'll see that on the YouTube space very soon.
Great.
What do you got? You got anything going on there?
Yeah, got something. So, funny enough, we got a comment from Frozen Slacker in Discord asking which of the two of us were not Smash Brothers fans, so that we could sort of bring some sanity into the Smash conversation. I guess he's not necessarily as hyped about it. You're not going to really find that with me. I was pretty excited about it, and I was trying to play it low key and not get too hyped and get disappointed. But it did not help that several of my real life friends, like my friend group, are all huge Smash fans. Like, we've had countless Smash tournaments going back to the Wii days. Going back to Melee.
Okay.
Was it Melee? What was that? Was that GameCube? Yeah. So, I mean, long-time Smash fans, and so we've been very excited, so excited, in fact, that my best friend bought a couple of copies of the game just in case, like, one of us couldn't get it on launch day. So I am borrowing one of his copies, so I've got it. Nice. Yeah. So I've been rocking out to Smash. We went over on Sunday to his house. We had four of us. Just played for 5 hours, maybe. Just
a short amount of time.
Just a short amount of time, just casually. No, loud screaming and bothering the neighbors. Nothing like that. Yeah. So then I was able to. Yeah. So then I was able to bring that copy home and also sort of play a version on mine and slowly but surely unlock some characters here and there.
Nice.
Just trying to get those skills back up so I don't just get my face pummeled in whenever I go back over to his house. So I'm liking that. Are you liking it? Are you having
fun? I didn't get to play too much of it. I started is it the Spirit mode? Is that what it's called?
I haven't even started Spirit mode. I'm just sort of practicing in regular matches.
Yeah. Well, I tried the Spirit mode. It seemed pretty cool. Again, I really didn't play too much. I did try and play handheld. It was near impossible to play.
I'm not even going near that.
Oh,
no,
man,
get that away.
Pro
controller or nothing.
Smash Brothers on the 3DS was more playable than this is on the Switch in handheld mode. I just couldn't. It was so hard to do. My giant ape hands couldn't handle the Switch. It was just tough. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Who is your main character? Have you unlocked them yet?
I haven't in my version, but actually someone that I sort of fell in love with, and now their name is completely
Oh no.
escaping me. But it's the Echo Fighter of Simon.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, jeez, it's escaping
Yeah,
me too.
so yeah,
Okay,
it's just like completely slipped my mind. But anyway, it's that character.
okay.
I liked Simon's mechanics. I liked his
The
he's
chain,
got
the
some
whip.
range. He's got some range with throwing the sort of the chakram and the axe and the
Hmm.
holy water. And then he's got the whip. So you know, I won a couple matches with him, and then also Ganondorf. I like the changes that they made to him, both in his design and he's a little bit faster. God, he was
He was really
so
slow.
slow in the last one.
Yeah.
He's a little bit faster. He's got a sword now. I mean, I'm really liking that. And then I am surprisingly decent with Bowser. Um,
I love Bowser.
I
He's slow too.
I he is slow. He is slow. But I did one of my it was my one of my favorite gaming moments in my entire life Sunday with Bowser. Um, and because you have to understand that my best friend is just I don't think I've ever beat him one on one in a smash, maybe once or twice, and it was just like pure luck. Uh, but anyway, so we like to play 4-player, all human, one stock, and so you're out, you die, you're out,
No
and
items.
no items, absolutely no items, and only God, Final Destination.
Okay. Yep.
Only Final Destination
Yep.
mode. So I start the game as Bowser. This is my first time playing Bowser this generation. I don't even remember if I played him last generation. So anyway, he's got that grab and you can stomp mechanic. And so I hit the ground, I grab one of my other friends and figured out I can control it, and I almost went off the map. Scared the mess out of me. And he's like, "Oh my god, don't you dare kill me that way." So I was like, I'm getting my best friend. I like, this is years and years in the making. I'm just going to sabotage his game.
And that's it.
I will take the loss myself so that he doesn't win, because he wins like probably like 70% of the matches that the players play. So he didn't see me do that to the other guy, and he was at the edge. I went over there, grabbed him. We both went off the map. He dies. Scream. I'm just swear. Just I do that. I wound up doing that to him probably 4 times. He had no defense against it. He would just stand on the edge, and I just grab him without, just grab him in like the melee, throw him off. Oh my god, it was the most fun. It was the most fun I've ever had. And I'm not in matches, but I don't care because he's getting so freaking mad. It was great. But anyway, but then like I got used to Bowser. I really like Bowser, and then Link as well. I like Link.
Yep. I know quite a few people who like Link. I'm a Bowser guy. I actually grown to like Kirby as well. So yeah, I stick with Bowser for the most part.
One that I want to like is Shulk.
Yeah.
I would love to learn. He's got sort of some deep mechanics. I'd love to learn him. I'm gonna have to practice with him though. Richter, that was the guy. Richter's the guy. I like his design better than Simon's.
Okay.
If there are any Castlevania fans that are just rolling over right now, sorry, but I like Richter's sort of design better than Simon's, so that's why I go with him. They're the exact same mechanics, they're carbon copies, but I like Richter.
Cool.
And then also other game I've been playing. This is big. Shadow of Mordor, not Shadow of War, but Shadow of Mordor, the original game. I put a bunch of hours into it in the past, never beat it. Sort of that Skyrim syndrome of I loved running around the world, encountering the orcs and going through the whole Nemesis system, going around capturing all the little things, doing all the side quests. I'd never finished the story. This weekend I put in probably 15-20 hours.
Oh, good.
beat the story. I think it was a great game. Not perfect by any means. And look, I know this is like 8 years late, but anyway, I think it's a really good game. It was a lot of fun, great combat, and I'm curious about Shadow of War. I'd love to play it.
I thought you had Shadow War. You don't?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, Shadow War I think is a little better. They improved on
it seems like they expand the systems out, and I was because I mean I follow Shadow of War closely leading up to its launch, and while I was playing Mordor the other day, because you can command orcs in Mordor, you can possess them essentially, and then tell them, hey, go kill this person, go do this. You can do little missions with them, but they like have no real personality, and you can't necessarily level them up, all of which things I know that you can do in war. And so the other day I was playing, I was like, God, I wish, because I get unnatural, like I just get like weird connections with things, and even this nasty little orc man, he went through so much for me. And I got real connected with, like, these were my dudes, and I made them promote and help them kill people so they could get real powerful and look cool. And so like I wish that system was there so that I could like level them up and really like know their names and stuff. So
get to know them on a personal level.
Yeah, big fuzzies. All right. So that was a good week of games. Let's talk about what's coming out this week and on sale. This is coming to you from SwitchRPG.com. As always, from Meatball Subs, got the very helpful roundup for us. Once again, the SwitchRPG.com. Go check it out. And as always, the sales and releases every week are brought to you by Switch List, the app on iOS and Android that helps you organize your Switch life. That is database for all of the titles on Switch, but in an easily searchable, readable, organizable fashion. Much easier than the eShop. All right, new game releases this week. We've got Desert Child releasing on December 11th. Kingdom 2 Crowns on the 11th. Dragon Marked for Death on December 13th. Sega Ages Fantasy Star on the 13th. Knights of Pen and Paper 2 Deluxeist Edition, as well as Knights of Pen and Paper Bundle. Both of those are on the 13th as well. I eventually want to pick up Phantasy Star, and I've always been interested in the Kingdom games, and I haven't played them.
Okay. I don't have a particular interest in any of the titles that are being released this week.
All right. So as far as sales go, and I believe all sales are actually new this week. I'm not going to repeat one that were on last week, but all these are new. Adamine is half off for $4.99. Brave Dungeon Plus Dark Witch Story Combat is 30% off for $6.29. Knights of Pen and Paper Plus 1 Deluxe Year Edition is 30% off for $10.49. Moonfall Ultimate is 30% off for $9.09. 9 Parchments, which is almost always on sale, is 70% off for $5.99. And the Swindle is half off for $7.49. So there you go.
Almost always on sale, huh?
Yeah, honestly, for 9 Parchments, if you wait a couple weeks, it'll probably be free. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right.
Don't believe that.
All right. Joe, you know what time it is?
It's getting late. It's getting really late. I'm getting tired.
Pack your bags because we're going on a side.
We're going. We're leaving.
I like a tease at the top of the show. This is going to be a holiday edition because if you didn't know, if you're in the U.S., Christmas is right around the corner. So anyway, Gio, I actually brought the side quest this week.
You did.
Graciously allowed me to contribute the side quest. And my question to you and to all of you listeners, we'll put this up on Twitter, is give me your gaming Christmas miracle. And what I mean by that, and it can be more than one, but what I mean by that is a game that shadow drops on Christmas Day. You fire up your Switch and all of a sudden something's on there that hasn't been whispered of before. There it is, ready for you to download and enjoy on Christmas Day. What game is it? It can be brand new, it can be off the wall, it can be a port. It's Christmas, anything can happen. What's your Christmas miracle?
You could probably predict what I'm about to say. I want a reimagined Secret of Mana. I mean,
oh, shocker! No, I'm kidding.
You know what? I quit.
No.
You can't quit. I quit.
Reimagine Secret of Mana. So not like the bad reimagine.
No. I mean just the Secret of Mana in name only. Just kind of, I want like a third person action RPG. I mean, Secret of Mana is already an action RPG to begin with, but I want more of a like say The Witcher because I love The Witcher. Just something like that, third person action oriented RPG coming out on the Switch, or Persona 5 coming out on the Switch. Why can't I?
I think Witcher is Witcher 3 on Switch. I think that'd be a great Christmas gift to a lot of people. Yep. To myself included. I'd love that. I've got to pay homage here to all the people that are screaming this at the screens right now or their speakers. But Final Fantasy VI finally announced for Switch, not just announced, but boom, there it is, Final Fantasy VI.
Not happening.
I would take a port of the GBA. Don't have to change anything. Don't do anything to the look or the feel. Just port it straight from there. I would take that. I would take an HD, well done, pretty, not the mobile mess, but something like they did with Final Fantasy IV. I would take that in a heartbeat. Something. Final Fantasy VI, please. Something.
I mean, you're getting everything but that, so it's not.
An 8.
An 8. Well, there's a reason for that, but
Final Fantasy 15 for the Switch, the actual one. I would take that to give me
deal with it. That's all.
No. Give me like a good real action RPG. And then I would take the Middle Earth games, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. Shadow of War would be great on Switch.
Of course, I would love that.
Man,
it could be
so
done.
good.
That could be done.
Oh, I definitely think it could be. And yeah, I mean, there's those. I would like to see Geralt, whatever, Geralt.
Yep.
Geralt of Rivia in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
I know we kind of thought that might be a thing a while back. I would love to see that.
It's certainly a possibility.
Come on.
It's certainly
bring him over. I know he's in Soul Calibur. Don't give me that.
And he's in Monster Hunter too, isn't he? Or is he in Monster Hunter? Did I read that somewhere? I don't know.
Monster Hunter was doing a ton of collaborations, so it's possible.
Okay. Well, yeah. Give me Metroid. Give me all those things. I would love it. Give me
brand new Zelda.
Brand new Zelda. Give me okay, I'm not asking for the world here. I'm really not. Give me Netflix. Okay?
Merry Christmas.
It's not an RPG. It's not even a game. Give me Netflix. You finally broke down and gave me YouTube. Thank you. Give me Netflix. Please.
Going back to a game for just a second, a true blue 50-hour amazing Mario RPG. Not a port of the original Mario, like a new Mario RPG and Mario lore. Love that. Going away from games to wake up on Christmas and all of a sudden have an actual chat.
Nope.
The ability to talk to people,
message your friends. I'll take that. No.
Have any sort of basic functionality as any other console?
No. You ain't getting it. Yeah, no, I mean, being able to look at your friends list and say, wow, I wish I could just send that person a little message. Hi.
A smiley face.
Nothing. You get nothing. You have to actually know them in person, basically, to like send them a message.
And then write them a letter.
You could
by
write them
hand.
a letter. I mean, I'm tending to do that a lot lately, especially with movies that I'm unhappy with. I want to send all these directors like letters, like angry letters. I'm gonna be doing that soon to the video game world. Like Konami will get a few angry letters. They seem to respond to those, right? Not so much.
How about this? How about let's go to game creation? A new Fallout game exclusively for Switch. Like Fallout Switch.
I don't know if I like that. Because it almost seems like we're going to get like a lesser version.
No, why are you thinking lesser?
That's what I think. That's
no,
what I think. Like,
why would you
you're already
think
seeing that with what is it, Dragon Quest S or whatever it is they're coming. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a lesser version of whenever that game comes out.
No, this is the Christmas miracle. There's nothing lesser about it. It's the scope of 4, but with the gameplay of 3, but actually good shooting mechanics like in 4.
See, it's already a mess. It's already a mess.
How and then actually
we already have a Fallout
we'll actually
game.
make it multiplayer.
There's already
We'll make it multiplayer.
Make it multiplayer?
Yeah, we're gonna make this new Fallout multiplayer with no NPCs. And we'll actually make it a survival game instead of an RPG.
That sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a fantastic idea. Have no narrative in an RPG. Have no one else in the world to interact with. Sounds fantastic.
And we'll end on a high note, not on Fallout 76, and on a high note. Madden. I'd love to have Madden on there.
Yeah, sure.
And actually, if I have any sports games aficionados out there, if I woke up on Christmas to find a new NCAA football game on my Switch, it'd be the end of all days because things could never get any better.
What is an NCAA? I don't understand what those letters mean.
Yeah, I'll have to educate you later.
Yeah, here in England, all right, we don't do college sports.
In England, yeah, because you got Rutgers and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is of the Switch RPG podcast. Thank you so much for joining us and enduring our long opinions and ideas.
Yes.
It's great. You love us. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for interacting with us throughout the week. Twitter, Discord, on the site, reading your stuff. It's great. We love to have you part of the community. Remember, if you are watching, if you want to watch us live, you can find us at youtube.com/SwitchRPG. We go live every Wednesday night. Now here's the tricky one. We'll go live every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m.
Eastern.
US Eastern time.
You got it.
There you go. 9:30 US Eastern time. But if you want to listen to us, you can find us every Friday on your favorite podcast app. If you like what you hear, you can head over to patreon.com/SwitchRPG. Throw us $1 or $2. But if that's not in the wallet for you right now, we totally understand. You just be part of the community. Like I said before, reading our stuff, seeing our stuff, hearing our stuff is just great. We can't thank you enough. Until next week, Gio, I gotta go unlock Richter. I still haven't gotten him.
You haven't gotten him yet?
How can I practice with my favorite character if I haven't unlocked him yet?
You just gotta get Simon. Maybe you get him first, and you can kind of do the same thing, right? Maybe.
Yeah, they are the same thing.
I might be playing Pokemon. Maybe. We'll see.
The Pokemans.
Nice.
All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.